Hi, my name is Skip Vosler. I was inducted into the Ohio Athletic Trainers Hall of Fame 1990 as a charter member. So I've seen a lot of years go by with new members every year, and it's been a good process as far as the Hall of Fame is concerned.
How did you get interested in athletic training, and give us a quick synopsis of your career?
I became interested in athletic training back in the 1950s. I was an athlete, was injured, and a good friend of mine who had a uncle who was Ernie Biggs at Ohio State University, and he introduced me to Ernie, and then I started my career with Ohio State University as a student athletic trainer. Then in 1961 I was able to get an assistant athletic trainer's position, which I stayed there until 1965, where Defiance College was looking for a head athletic trainer, so I went to Defiance College. I was there for 3 years, went on to Ashland University in 68, and I was there also 3 years, and then I went to Ohio University in 1971 as a head athletic trainer, and retired in 1998 from Ohio University.
So, describe your typical day either when you were a college student or your first real job.
Well, as an athletic trainer, you're always very busy. As an assistant athletic trainer at Ohio State University, we had a lot of responsibilities. I worked football and wrestling. Your day started usually around 6:30 in the morning and really didn't finish until about 7:30, 8 o'clock. As a head athletic trainer at two small universities, you found yourself with a great deal of time serving that capacity as a head athletic trainer and not being able to have the assistance that the major universities had, so you put in far more time in those small universities. When I went to Ohio University, I had 3 assistants, and then was able to start my day a little later and finish a little earlier, I should say.
So, if you don't mind me asking, what was your salary when you first started?
My first salary at Ohio State University was $4,100, and it climbed about $100 every year for a couple of years. And when I became a head athletic trainer, then it naturally went up a little bit more. And so by the conclusion of my career, the salary started to climb to the point where it would be recognized as a good salary for that position.
So, what's the biggest change you've seen in athletic training?
I think the biggest change is education. I think it was very important back in the 1960s that there are several of us that really started the educational programs. I became very interested in education while I was at Ashland. Then moving to Ohio University, I was given the privilege to initiate the undergraduate program, which was the first in the state of Ohio. Then in 1977, we started the master's degree program, and so each year after that, we saw the progress of education for the student athletic trainers, and now it's way above what we were doing back in the 60s.
So, as of today, if you could change one thing about athletic training, what would it be?
Well, today I think I would like to see more involvement by student athletic trainers serving their roles with the university teams. Students are limited in their hours now, and I think that's unfortunate because the experiences that our student athletic trainers got at Ohio University in the early times from 1970 to 1990, they got a great deal of experience, and now the students are not getting that type of clinical experience, and I think that's hurting somewhat.
Do you think that varies between the different divisions?
Not really, because I think you're limited in the hours. So therefore, if a student puts more, 20 hours now, I think it is, that's very reduced from what our students would normally put in. Our students at Ohio University were required we had library at 6:30 in the morning. We had classes, and they started their program from 12 o'clock and didn't finish up until around 6:30, 7 o'clock. So, the number of hours of experience that they got during that time was very, very important.
So do you have any pearls of wisdom for younger members or students?
I think the pearl of wisdom that I have is the student has to have a strong interest in the field. I don't think it is wise for a student to come in and try to feel their way through. I think they have to begin with a sincere interest in athletic training. It's a different type of career, and naturally, once they progress through their education, they may want to go into physical therapy, assistant physician, and so forth. But I think the important thing is to come in with a strong interest and willing to work.
So, I know you said you couldn't remember, but what's one quote you're known for, or a phrase your students would say that you would always repeat?
I guess my greatest quote would be, don't come in with a grade card less than a B, and it better be an A.
So, do you feel that your practice or philosophy has changed at all throughout your career? And if so, how?
Well, I think it has. From the early 60s, our education wasn't as great, and so the experiences that I shared with many of the certified athletic trainers throughout these many years and attending clinics and conventions has increased my knowledge, and thus it has allowed me to pass that on to our students. Naturally, my important thing was, as a head athletic trainer at Ohio University, was to hire assistants who were smarter than me or I. So therefore, our students would then get a greater education, and through those experiences, I learned a great deal.
So, looking back on your career, is there anything you would change?
Not really. I enjoyed my career. It was very satisfying. I think that we all want to think about different things that we could have done, but for me, serving Ohio University for 27 years was a great experience, great thrill, and starting the 2 educational programs plus a doctorate program allowed me many opportunities to work with a great number of students who had very high intelligence and who were willing to work and who were willing to also teach me something.
How did you first get involved with the OATA?
I became involved as one of the head athletic trainers or certified athletic trainers that started the program at OATA. We were a member of the GLATA, and Dale Guggens and myself and several other people, Gary Lake, all started together in trying to initiate the Ohio Athletic Trainers Association, which we found to be very successful. All 3 of us worked on the bylaws and the Constitution at that time, and it was a thrill to see what our growth has been since that time.
So you mentioned that you worked on bylaws. Is there anything that you were an author for, creator, or inventor?
Well, I've invented several things. The cryotherm. I've been involved with the cryotherm, which is a therapeutic pool-like. The cryopress, which is a sequential compression for the lower extremity. I was involved in the helmet reproduction of a safer helmet when I was at Ohio State University with a 4-point chin strap. So there's many things that I've been involved with, and thrilled to see how that has grown also.
Mm-hmm. So what's your favorite memory about being involved with OATA?
Oh, I think the greatest memory is the growth of OATA, just to see the amount of people who have made the grade as an athletic trainer, certified athletic trainer, who has gone on and furthered their careers and have worked very hard to make the OATA a very stronger organization.
What's the best part of being an athletic trainer and being involved with the OATA?
I think student involvement. to be involved with the students, not only in my institution but with other institutions, has been a great experience. Earlier in my career, we used to have student trainer workshops at the universities, and that was always a thrill to work with. And to see the number of students that came from those workshops to go into a career of athletic training has been very satisfying.
So, do you have any last stories you'd like to share? More pearls of wisdom?
Well, I think the only thing that I would like to see is that the field becomes even stronger than it is right now. I would like to see a more graduate education towards the doctorate level in athletic training. I think that's very important for our field. I think it would distinguish in salaries. I think it would make us a greater recognition than what we have at the present time.